Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, the 25 subscribers I have now. So I'm doing something a little different this time. I haven't been on videos in a little bit. Unfortunately I butchered my hair. But lately after seeing Mattel's offering of the Ultimates, which again, don't get me wrong, it's cool to see Lashley, Kurt Angle, see the Brett, the Roddy Piper, and of course the Yokozuna, I plan to get the Yokozuna. There just wasn't a lot of variety. And I'm seeing a lot of people on eBay right now posting a lot of Ultimate Customs that are posable and playable. So I decided that I got Shawn Michaels, I got Bret Hart. How hard would it be to find this guy? And I scoured a little bit. I was looking for originally just to have the new arm articulation for Sycho Sid. Obviously, I did a little custom job. I switched the boots from his SummerSlam figure because the original Elite didn't come with that. They were just plain boots, which he did wear a few times, but I do always, for some reason, I always like that look. Now, I was on eBay and I found Ultimate Playable Sycho Sid. I don't understand why we can't get. I mean, I know he's very generic. They probably have to be throw a vest and maybe a belt in there or something. The only thing is obviously he doesn't have his white wrist tape. They probably look like they look to use the Lex Luger Wave 2 or changing variant arms, but really looks really good. I mean, aside from a little bit of separation right there, looks great, very playable. But again, he doesn't have this. So I thought, what if I was to take these legs, not the whole leg because the skin tone doesn't quite match. But this part down here, there's no skin tone. So if I was to just take these knee pads off, and also the knee pads, I know that these ones are making more posable, but Sid wasn't exactly a guy doing jump kicks. The one time he tried one maneuver, he ended up, basically snapping his leg. So I'm going to see if I can't take these boots off carefully, and actually even take the knee joint down low off right there, because I looked at it. And all these Ultimates are nowadays, these custom ones I see, is they're just basically taking the Ultimate top portion with the butterfly joints, and they're leaving, the original Elite style for the most part, maybe that newer Elite style, but no drop-down hips, which I'm okay with this. I think the drop-down hips, I understand, yes, why they did it, to kind of add new articulation, but I find it annoying. I'm always afraid that the Seth Rollins figure is going to snap. When I'm trying to pose him, to do his little move when so no drop down hips, not a problem to me, and I'd rather have more variety. In fact, I got a bunch of guys on the way, which I can't wait to show off. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a YouTube custom video because it's not really fair to people who don't have the money to buy those. But maybe I'll show off my customs, including a Chris Benoit and a Great Muta figure that I snagged. But I'm going to see if this works. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to go over, get the hot water microwaved up. I'm going to soak the legs a little bit, and then I'm basically going to try to take the lower portion off and the knee pads off, and then take these boots off and the lower portion off, and then swap them. So hopefully this look becomes more like this look. The only thing that's missing is a white wrist tape, but I'm not going to change the articulation because the arms are not, they're the old school arms on this one. Maybe if they ever make white wrist tape, I'm trying to look through the Ultimates fodder parts I have. But for the life of me, I can't think of anybody who has just white wrist tape right now. So maybe in the future, when they get more variety, I can swap that. Or maybe I can always even look at, because all the arms are is basically the Elite Plus style. So maybe I can find someone who has that. I'm going to go look at all my figures. I know I just decided to, I call it upgrade. Get a custom Xavier Woods, King Woods Ultimate Edition. Got Booker T on the way. Just got Ken Shamrock, Shelton Benjamin. Like I said, Great Muta, Sting, Chris Benoit, which cost me a little bit. I'm looking at a current test that's on eBay, but I don't know if I want to go that high on the payment. Of course, I'm used to paying that kind of money for Elite customs anyway from from Rough Figures. So I might just do a video to show off the customs I have. I'm still waiting on the Canyon figure I ordered. Still waiting for pictures of it because it hasn't arrived yet. But let me pause the video and get your comments on it if it works. If I come back furious, maybe something snapped. I hope not. So I'll pause this. Okay, and I'm back. So, I'm not screaming, I'm not annoyed. It was success. I was originally just going to take the boots and just take the lower shin and switch the boots, but had a little bit of trouble with that. So, and I'm looking at the boots, and I don't think they're as long, but here is the now changed Elite Sid, which I'm going to be throwing up on my Macari page here pretty soon to send it off. Not a bad Sid, really, as long as you don't mind the look, but I wanted the iconic, except for the white, like I said, except for the right wrist tape, I wanted that almost 1996 Survivor Series. I remember watching 96 Survivor Series a little bit. Of course, I was at this point I was a wrestling fan. I wasn't like as devolved as I got into it, but I remember seeing Shawn Michaels at the Rumble of '96 of that year, cleaning house, winning the Rumble. Then I convinced my grandmother, may she rest in peace. I lost her 2 days ago. She actually ordered WrestleMania 12 for me, so I got to watch Shawn Michaels battle Bret Hart. Didn't really see much of the build-up because again I didn't have cable back in the day, but I got a chance to watch that Iron Man match. And then really I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of wrestling from that moment on because I didn't have cable. So the next time I did watch wrestling was Survivor Series '96, and it was the guy who I instantly became a fan of, Shawn Michaels, and was like, all right, sweet, who's this giant Sycho Sid guy? I've never seen him before. And he would go on and he'd win the title, and obviously they'd have to paint some yellow decal on the knee pad or the elbow pad and whatnot. But really, I love the way it turned out. Let me just adding the white just always makes it seem to pop more. And of course, if you had the white wrist tape, it would be complete. It would basically be a '96 Survivor Series Sycho Sid. Now, will we ever get one in Ultimate? I don't know. I don't even see it. I've looked at I know it's like mid-20 or spring of 2024 is pretty much the lineup they've shown. Now, they've said they've had some stuff that wasn't ready to show at Mattel. But, and he'd be perfect for either, early start of Attitude or especially the New Gen era. I feel like, he wasn't at the start of the New Gen era, but he definitely was at the tail end of that before it went to the Attitude era. Great with the Bret Hart, great with the Shawn Michaels. We need a '96 World Champion attire Shawn Michaels. I'm surprised that was completely absent from Comic-Con. I'm surprised no Ultimate Shawns were announced. Because I know Shawn Michaels figures sell, so I don't know why we're not seeing any of that stuff. Maybe they're just waiting for it. Of course, I don't think they lost his contract deal, unlike Savage. But beautifully turned out. Like I said, I got it. It wasn't, the one I really wanted. And, looking at the height comparison, I think these boots might be a little taller. Might have been a little taller. Now he definitely towers over him. You can see the height difference there. But he's going to tower over Shawn. He's going to tower over Bret, so it'll work. Until we either get a release or until I find someone who's customized one even better, or they have, a taller boot mold. I'm just looking at the boots, and, really, they look the same, so I don't know. I think it might be the thighs, maybe. But again, you can see the night and day difference on the color of the skin. It wouldn't have matched. I do like the lighter blonde hair from the custom one compared to the one I found back then. Of course, he has his short-haired look as well, but I always found that one look cartoony and orange. So this is going to be great placeholder until if we get officially release one or not. But if not, I'm all in on trading my Elites up towards Ultimates, even if they're custom. No drop-down hips. Don't care. So that's how it is for me, but I'm a loose display collector and posable collector and such. And I can't be around for 40 years more until they finally decide to release one. So if the time being, if I find people that I really like or are really well done, or maybe I can do a little adding up in here and there. I don't crack torsos or anything like that, but I'll add the arms and whatnot, the boots. I'm still glad they didn't put like the knee joint where you can't really alter the knees. I'm hoping I understand they're doing that to try to get rid of the pegs, but it makes it for customizers really hard. The only thing I think about doing with this one is if I find right wrist tape and I find an arm that's same kind of color, maybe not as bulky and big, because I remember he did have a big chest, but I don't remember his arms being so massive. but he's going to look great. I mean, the punches are going to look good. You know, he always reared back with his punches. He always, you know, did the gut shots. He was not a finesse wrestler. He was a big guy. You know, I remember picked up Shawn Michaels, and, you know, Michaels would jump down. He'd do the boot. He'd do the, you know, the one leg. Sorry, I'm a little higher up this time. He'd do the choke slam, you know, mentality. The power bomb, of course. This one just is going to look great because it just drops perfectly. I mean, he's going to look good, you know, setting up the power bomb where he's got him up in the air, and it's, you know, I know in parallel universe, Sid versus Sid, but it's going to look good. It's going to look great with the, you know, a WrestleMania 13 Undertaker if we get an Ultimate Edition of that one. He'll look okay next to the WrestleMania 14 attire Undertaker as well. But, you know, I feel like Sid needs a little bit more love. Sycho Sid, of course, main evented WrestleMania 8 and 13, so, you know, he's in that same, you know, he's that same same class as Bret Hart, who also was in a couple WrestleMania main events. So maybe we'll see one in the future, maybe we won't. But if not, sorry, the camera's tipping here. Again, this is on a little higher stand base. I decided to try this out tonight. I'm going to upload this video. But of course, check back. I'll be doing more of Who Made It More. I'll be checking more old school or out of the, you know, the Dance Over reviews as well, which I think some people checked out the Sin Cara one for the hell of it. So, but I'll probably do a custom review of all the stuff I've been buying, because the Great Muta looks sick, the Sting looks sick. I'm all in on Ultimates. You know, the playability is not as... They can't take as much damage, you know, as like an Elite figure can. Like sturdiness, I'm always afraid. You know, so I'm pretty ginger with them. I'm always worried, especially with the drop down hips. I'm always worried that the leg might snap. I'm hoping Yoko doesn't have drop down hips. I don't think it will with the way it's designed. I feel like I would be constantly be pulling down with that sheer massive chunk of plastic. But yeah, anyone and everyone I can find that I can update to an Ultimate style, like Paul Orndorff or Bob Orton or Ricky Steamboat, I'm going to do that. And I'll probably just selling the counterpart off here and there. If I can add some parts to it that I think, you know, are missing or lacking, then I'll probably do that as well. But yeah, I'm all in on the Ultimates. Don't have to be a mint on card, but they look cool. I'm putting them by generation. You got like the WWF, like old schooler guys. Then you got the, you know, Ultimate WWF section, which like Brett, Shawn, you know, the new gen kind of stuff. Then the WWE, which is, it's weird. It's like the Ultimate WWE, which basically is like Austin or Attitude Era type stuff, Ruthless Aggression, and then just basically current day stuff. So like AJ, waiting on the Usos. Like I said, I did order some people, so I will have that King Xavier Woods, which hopefully, if it's like, you know, the guy told me there's a little bit of separation where he cracked the torso, but he told me it's glued, it's not going to move. So as long as it's not like, you know, an eyesore, it'll be no problem. But let me know what you think of this. Would you have built him that way? Would you have, you know, went out of your way to try to build an Ultimate Sycho Sid? Wait for your comments below. Have a good day.